like 22 long and 5 across. Key group 2 is 4 by 5, and key group 3 I think is 17 by 5. So they all have different numbers. But the thing is, we want, for example, the drummer and metronome controls, we need them to be in a uniform place every time. So there is over every key group, there is a second key group overlaid, which is only this size, 4 by 5, and it's overlaid just at the bottom of every key group. So let me show you this. So just at the bottom of key group 2. Key group 2 is actually 17 deep, but there's a second one just called talker key group 2 overlaid over it, which is 4 by 5 at the very bottom. So every key group has that over it. The reason why it's important to tell you that is because when we create an output on key group 2, we also have to create an output on talker key group 2. That's the only reason why we need to know about this. So just quickly, I'm going to say talker key group 2, hey, and then output 8, create again. Okay, so now we've done that. Okay, so we've got our output. I'll just double check. So if I get the camera going again, so I'll press the mode key now, down now, okay, moving closer. You can see now there's this one here, which is on key 8. So I've got this new output on key 8. So the next thing we need is a scaler. So the scaler is the agent in the system that takes the information from the keys. So it says, okay, this is key 1, key 2, 3, 4. Takes this information and it applies a scale to it. So it says, okay, key 1, I'm in C major, so key 1 is going to be C, key 2 is going to be D, key 3 is going to be E, etc. So this is why we need a scaler. So I'm going to say scaler create. And then I'm going to give it a name. As always, when we create a new agent, we always give it a name. And it refers to the last thing you created. So I've just created a scaler. So until I've given that a name, that I can refer to that in Bel Canto world as it. So I'm going to say it to, and I'll call it effect scaler nameify. So it to effect scaler nameify. Hit enter. So now I have this scaler in my system that is called effect scaler. And I need to connect my key group 2 output 8 to this new scaler. So that is simply key group 2 output 8 to effect scaler connect. Hit enter, just check it says OK down in the corner. Key group 2 output 8 to effect scaler connect. And then finally, the next step is to connect the scaler to the actual effect audio unit, and that is also pretty straightforward. So I just say effect scaler to, okay, now we need to decide which so I'm going to just do sampler 3, I think. So I'm going to do the sampler 3's inline effect. The way the inline effects are numbered, so all the inline effects are called effect audio unit X, or effect audio unit 1 to 11. So there's 11 of them. And the way they're numbered is it starts from sampler 1, and sampler 1 is effect audio unit 1, 2, 3, 4 are effect audio units 2 and 3 and 4, and then it goes audio unit 1, 2, 3, 4, they are effect audio units 5, 6, 7, 8, and then it goes cello, clarinet and the synth, and they are 9, 10 and 11. Okay, so I'm going to do sampler 3, so that is effect audio unit 3. So effect scaler to effect audio unit 3 connect. So that was effect scaler to effect audio unit 3 connect. So that says OK as well. And then the scaler at the moment, by default, the scalars are set to C major. I think it would be more useful in this case to have chromatic. So I'm just going to quickly say effect scaler hey, and I'm going to say scale to chromatic set. Scale to chromatic set. You could also, I don't think I need to in this case, but you could also change the octave. So you could say effect scaler hey, octave. Well, I'll show you as an example. Effect scaler hey, and then you could say octave to 1 set, for example, to put it octave 1. You can also say effect scaler hey, octave up, or you can say octave down. Okay, so I've set my scale to chromatic.
Sorry, Dave. The mic inline is and the question from Mike, he just says, and the mic inline effect is no. I'm not sure if that means
number, probably number. Yeah.
Number.
I'm not actually 100% sure what that is. I'll have to find out and get back to them.
Okay, that's Mike Milton.
Mike Milton. Okay, no worries. Okay, so octave to one set. Okay, so the next, that should be done now, hopefully. So what I'm going to do is just quickly load an audio unit into that effect slot. So that was, so I open my Eigen browser. So that was sampler 3. So I'm going to go to sampler 3 advanced controls. So that's this one here. And then inline effect browse, which is this orange key here. And you can see, so I've only got a few plugins that actually take this kind of information, but one of them is this distortion plugin from Ohmforce. So I click on that, and then I can click on, it's called Ohmicide, which if you like your distortion plugins is an amazing one. Okay, so what Ohmicide does is you can see these 12 dots in the corner here. Each one of these represents a different set of settings, and they call it Mellow Man or something like that. And it's the way that you can change between these 12 settings, and you can get it to morph between them over a certain amount of time, which you can get some really cool effects with. But it also means that each one of these 12, you can probably tell that each one of these 12 circles represents a note on the chromatic scale from C to C. And what I'll do here is I'll just turn down the speed. So let me zoom out. Okay, so I'm just turning, because you can morph between them. Basically, it was set to morph over 2 beats. I'll set it to 0 beats, so it's instant. Okay, so that's that set up. And I'll just quickly go to the setup on this Ohmicide plugin, and what it has down the bottom here is it has Mellow Man settings. So I think they call the morphing thing Mellow Man, and then I can say Mellow Man mapping, and you can see at the moment it's got no MIDI control. You can choose what octave you want to have mapped to it. I'm going to say all octaves because I'm just using this. I'm using this key group is just for this, so it doesn't matter which octave I'm in. So that's actually better for me. So I've got all octaves. So now hopefully it should be set up to do this. So if I
sorry, apparently effect audio unit 13 for the mic.
That makes sense. Effect audio unit 12 is the drummer. So yeah. Cool. Okay, so I'm going to go to key group 2. Key group 2, and I'm going to choose my new output, which was output 8. Okay, now it's working. Thank you. Okay, cool. Thank you, Belcanto. All right, so what I've got here is I've got my key group 2 here. I'll choose sampler 3 here. Hopefully on the screen you can see when I press the different keys. Oh, it's in major scale at the moment because of the key group. Okay, so now I'll choose different keys, and you can see it's cycling through the different settings depending on which key I press. So now if I play if I put my headphones on first, I can play sampler 3, and hopefully I'll be able to change the settings. Okay, so so hopefully you can hear that. So I'm basically changing the distortion settings with that key group. But there's quite a few. I mean, I'm guessing there's quite a few plugins that allow you to do this. I know there's one called Artillery by Sugar Bytes, which allows you to have a different effect. It's designed for keyboards, but it lets you have a different effect on each key. It's got like delays, compressors, chorus, loopers, like stutter effects. It's got everything, but you can map out a whole keyboard and you can have a different effect on every single key, so you can sit there and change the effects. So that'd be good for that as well, so you can have a key group controlling that kind of thing. So there's a load of plugins that do that. So hopefully that answers the question anyway.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is that you?
That's me.
That's
yeah.
you done?